Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as you guys already know, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And be sure to also hype up the video as well so we can push the video out there to more people so they can join the community. Today's episode was actually alright. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a few things that we're going to get into. But yes. Is there anything else I have to tell you guys before we start? I feel like there's something I have to tell you. If anything, if I remember, I'll tell you at the end of the video. But anyway, let's just get straight into it, guys. So the episode starts off with Harrison and Belle on the terrace. He made breakfast for her. And Belle was just basically saying how their banter is very similar. He realized that normally he would only be the one dishing out banter if like he's coupled up with a lady. And someone would just lap it up, like they wouldn't give the same energy back. But Belle is someone that can reciprocate it and also give that energy back to Harrison. And she's saying that she likes where things are going. Nothing too much to elaborate on that. Whitney, Lucinda, and Leanne are having a conversation. Lucinda has some news and she told Sean that she loves him. I won't lie, a lot of people are giving Sean and Lucinda slack saying, or maybe they're moving too quick, this, that, and the third. I want people to remember when Shaq and Tanya told each other on season 9 they loved each other. And people said the same thing. People said exactly the same thing and they ended up lasting for a little while. Until, obviously, now they're no longer together. But they did last for a while outside of the villa. So it's just a matter of, it all depends on how people feel, what they're feeling. You know, like I said, I do see both sides, the logistical side and the emotional side. I do see both sides, but there can also be a balance to it as well. Sean and Tommy having a conversation, and Sean is telling Tommy what Scott said and told Tommy that Lucinda said she loves him. Tommy feels like his situation with Jessy is slow burner and he's confused why there isn't an initial spark. Number one, I've already said I don't agree with the whole slow burning thing. I'm telling you now, guys, I promise you, there's no such thing as slow burning. If you are talking to someone, I'll actually, you know what? I'm going to use this as a prime example. With Whitney, with Connor, she said slow burner. I even believe with Jack, she said the same thing. With Yemen, is there such thing as slow burning? I'll wait. And this is why I say there's no such thing as slow burning. When you match with someone that you really like, that slow burning thing, it goes out of the window. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as that. I do not believe in, if someone told you they are a slow burner, they don't like you. Just in your head, just say you don't, just be honest, you don't like me like that. I'm telling you, there's no such thing as slow burning. I don't believe in it. That's void. You guys can let me know in the comment section what you think about that. But me personally, there's no such thing as slow burning. People just say that to either hold people as a placeholder or to pretend like they like someone and see if the feelings can grow. No. Sorry. Let me correct myself. Feelings can grow, but in terms of initial spark, that will come like that naturally. Boom. And if that's not there, it's not there. And it is what it is. So that's why, that's number one. Number two, I believe that there's some truth to what Helena was saying. I could be wrong. Again, what I'm saying isn't fact. There could be some truth. There could be some truth to it. You know, because at the end of the day, yes, Jessy came in late as a bombshell, but her initial focus was grilling Lucinda instead of getting to know Tommy. Do you understand? So instead of her trying to find that initial spark, her thing, and this is why I think Helena clocked onto Jessy, her initial plan was to come in and get favourite from the public, but it backfired on her ass. So, yeah. Scott ended up getting a text. It's going to be the All-Stars dinner where there's going to be some questions and answers that will be revealed. We already know that this challenge comes with drama, which it did today. And we're going to get into it. So each couple can ask the public 2 questions, one about themselves and one about another couple. I ended up writing here that, you know, we knew what the questions were, but I ended up writing some of them down. I didn't write down all of them because if you saw the poll yesterday, there's no point in me writing down the same questions that you all saw on the poll. But for the sake of the review, I wrote down some of them just to kind of have some points to talk about. So the first one that Tommy and Jessy asked was, is Scott holding back from asking Leanne to be his girlfriend? everyone is saying that Scott cares about the outside perspective. And again, it's not just people within the villa that have said this. Tyreek also said the same thing as well. I do believe that Scott he does kind of think, oh, if he messes this up, would the outside, something like, when some people go on these shows, these type of shows, they do care what the public think, because at the end of the day, and the more I watch these shows, the more I'm kind of understanding why some people do this. But again, you couldn't pay me enough to act fake on these shows. The reason why people do this, and I'm going to just give you guys an example. People are a brand. You have to understand, these people that go on these shows, they are a brand. Yeah? They may be called Belle. They may be called Lucinda. They may be called Scott, Leanne. That comes as a whole package. Belle's just hit 1 million followers on Instagram. Lucinda has however many millions of followers. Scott has many. Whitney has... All of these islanders are brands. So people are watching them. When you just think it's us watching, oh no. There's brands watching. There's all sorts of people watching. So I do believe to an extent that people do have to, not have to, let me choose my words carefully, that people just, I do believe that is the reason why people do take into consideration the public opinion. Because they want to be liked by the public in order for the more followers, the more likes, the more engagement, the more inclined they will be to get like the brand deals, to get the agencies reaching out to them, you know, to get booked for more show. Like it's their job in a way. It comes with as a package deal. And that's just what I've got to say regarding that. You know, you guys can let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that, but just my opinion. You know, before I used to say be yourself, and I still believe you go on the shows and be yourself. Nothing is better than being your true, authentic self. I can't stress that enough. If people think you're the C word, so be it. I know people that, not personally, but I know of people that have gone on TV, being the TV villain, they're excelling in life. They're excelling. So it all depends on how you do it. If you're a villain but people love to hate you type thing, that still will bring engagement because people will love to hate on your page. Or for people, it's business. Like, this is kind of going off the Love Island topic at the moment. For people, this is a business. It's marketing. It's strategy. Yeah? The more numbers you bring in, the more money makes the world go round. And that's just a matter of the fact. So I know I kind of took this conversation a bit deeper than what it is initially. But in terms of like the whole Scott thinking about the public, I could kind of see why he may do that. I can kind of see it. Sammy wants to know if she was going crazy about the whole pie situation with Lucinda. I guess, let me be neutral. For her sake, she wants clarity. Maybe she's been spiraling. That's why she's been moving the way she's been moving. Because she's been spiraling these whole 2 weeks thinking, am I actually going mad? Like, so she wants her clarity with that. Okay, cool. Scott says that, you know, Sean and Lucinda becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, that has created a knock-on effect. And it's made other people feel a type of way. I don't think it's made anybody else feel a type of way, Scott. I think it's just you. But people will always try to bring other people involved to make it seem less loaded onto them. But I believe it's you that feels this way. So that's what I'm saying. You need to look inwards. You need to look within. You know, Sean and Lucinda. Don't worry about what they got going on. You worry about yourself, honey. Too many people be worrying about the wrong things these days. Millie ended up getting a text. The girls are getting glammed up by the Boots Beauty crew. So I'm guessing that's like a sponsor or shout out from Boots. Cool. And then Yemen was screaming baddies. I'm so they're not the baddies cameo. Not him fully screaming baddie. I don't actually kill me. Belle said every time a challenge comes about, Hurricane Belle comes out and she says that she has retired. Well, I guess retirement didn't last that long. God. Anyway, All Stars dinner time. Let's get into it, shall we? So, Whitney got the text. The results are now in. So, I put the initials because I wasn't writing these people's long names. So, I believe C and S was Kieran and Sammy. Have they been tested enough as a couple? 59% said yes. No, 41%. In my honest opinion, I don't think they need any more tests. I do think they do like each other, but I don't care. I don't care enough for Kieran and Sammy like that. So I couldn't care less what they got going on, to be honest with you. Yemen and Whitney, do you think their relationship will work long distance? 61% said yes, 39% said no. I believe they'll work. I believe they will work. I definitely believe they will work. The only way it wouldn't work is if, like, they don't want to make it work. That's the only reason I can think of. That I feel like their connection is very genuine. I feel like what they got going on is all good. You know, they just need to take the outside variables into perspective and try to work things out on the outside. But apart from that, I don't see what's stopping them from doing the long distance. Long distance can work if you want to make it work. It can work if you want to make it work. A lot of people say, "Oh, long distance doesn't work." Oh no, have you tried? Have you tried? You too scared to try? You too scared to put your big boy shoes on? I believe that's what it is. That's why a lot of you say no to it. But have you tried it? You haven't tried it. So you can't say you don't know about something or it's not going to work if you've never tried it. You have to give something a try before you can say that. Tommy and Jessy, are they T and J? Yeah. Are they, sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah. Tommy and Jessy. Are Tommy and Jessy well suited? The percentage was yes, 27%, no, 83%. Yikes. That's the majority of the public that think y'all ain't well suited. And again, I don't think it's because of Tommy. Jessy and her silly antics is what's caused this. I'm telling you, if Jessy came in from the jump and was just genuine and herself and wasn't trying to come in doing whatever she thought she was trying to do, maybe the public would have a different perception about her. But you showed your face. And my mum literally said it earlier on today when we was having a conversation about something. When people show you who they are, believe them. Lucinda and Sean, do you think they will get married? 25% of y'all said yes. 75% of y'all said no. I know where the no is coming from. I know. There's a lot of stuff going around about Lucinda at the moment. And I did make a video on TikTok earlier of there was actually some texts. This was like when Lucinda was on Love Island Australia. And I heard that she won that one. She came out with Zach, and then there was some text between her and Zach. I'm saying alleged because with this whole AI thing, you don't know what's real, you don't know what's fake anymore. There's alleged text of Lucinda basically telling him, "Oh, you know, we've spoken about this already. Something. I'm going on a dating show for my dating show for my career, but when I come to Australia, we'll speak about it more." That's what Lucinda was allegedly saying to Zach. So I see why, with all this stuff going around on the internet and her apparently having a sugar daddy, I can see why the public is saying, and a lot of people have watched Lucinda on TV as well, so they kind of be like, this girl is not, do we really think she likes Sean like that? No. Do we think, but then again, you see, to me, it goes to me, and I'm going to call out the public, y'all are fake. And the reason why I say that, because they're getting favorite couple, but yet you don't think they'll get married. The maths is not mathsing, guys. Come on. I have to call out BS when I smell it. Y'all voted them favorite couple, because then that's giving sympathy. And I know, listen, I'm included in that, because listen, we want to humble Belle, we want to humble Sammy, but as good as we're doing that, we need to also remember when we're doing these votes, it has to also be for the reason that we generally believe that their couple is gelling. And I generally believe that they're gelling until I get proven wrong. But like, you can't vote for that and then for something like this, you're voting that they won't get married. It's giving fake. I'm sorry, I have to call out the public for that. I have to call out the public. Belle and Harrison, has the young bull been tamed? 22% said yes, 78% said no. That man ain't been tamed. Like I said yesterday, I'll say it again. Belle, good luck. Molly and Zach. Does Zach like... Not Molly. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Millie and Zach. Does Zach like Millie as much as Millie likes Zach? Yes. 44. No. 56. I guess it's because Millie's more on him. But you know what, guys? That's not necessarily a bad thing. Most of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm single as a Pringle, right? But normally in relationships, you do get one person that would like one person more. It's not necessarily a bad thing. When I've been in relationships, I've definitely known my first relationship, my partner liked me more than I liked him. But that's not. But that didn't say that. That's not to say I didn't like him. I just know the feelings were stronger from him than it was from me, and that's okay. It's fine. It's not. That is not a bad thing, and we need to normalize that not being a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if you, as the person that probably likes the person less, you're entertaining other people, or you're not as in as you're not you're not as in the relationship as you thought, or whatever it may be. But if you're still in it and you lot are locked in, I don't see what the problem is with that. So I don't really believe that to be such a negative one. So then we got to Scott and Leanne. Scott then asks, will I be in Belle's DMs in a week? Belle started to get upset and started to say, oh, you wanted to have a laugh at my expense. Belle, I'm not gonna lie, you made the comment. And it's just to prove to you that that's not gonna be a thing. So you have the same way you wanted Leanne to get clarity on a situation. This is your clarity, honey. And then this is also me adding. Belle, that nice girl act that her and Sammy were doing, it wasn't going to last. And this is what I'm saying. Guys, you can't being fake doesn't last long, you know. That's why when Lucinda and Sean announced the thing and they were both doing that, there was no point. Like, we knew it. Like, you guys forever will hold this kind of grudge. People say they don't hold grudges. Hurricane Belle is retired. But you and Scott were literally going back and forth across the table. And me personally, Scott needs to just leave it, because you shouldn't really be arguing with a woman like that, to be honest. Like, going back and forth with a lady. I understand that you're trying to prove your point, but Belle is Belle. With someone like her, there's no reasoning. There's no kind of talking. You just got to leave her, let her shout. But there was something that, was it here? Yeah, it was here. Scott actually told her about herself, and she needs to hear this more. And maybe this is why these two actually wouldn't have worked. This is what Scott actually gets for entertaining this kind of nonsense. This is why these two wouldn't work. They clash too much. Because while all of that is going on, first, I didn't even say the percentage. So 25% said yes, and 75% said no. So that's Belle's clarity for that. Lucinda, while all of that is popping off, Lucinda then asks Leanne, how are you? Again, the only person to kind of ask Leanne, how's she doing? You know, after hearing that. It's all about Scott and Belle. But Leanne, how is Leanne doing? You know? And then I put here Hurricane Belle is going off because, yeah, the retirement didn't last long. You don't know how to control your emotions at your big grown age. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm having too much fun with this. I need to calm down. It's but seriously, it's embarrassing. I don't know what to tell you. The aggression came out again, guys. And guys, I'm saying aggressive, not fiery. Not spicy. No. The aggression, the loudness, the shouting, that quiet Belle wasn't gonna last long. That's her. That's who she is as a person. That's her character. That's her. That's everything. That's it. That's that. And then Scott told her, oh, whenever you raise your voice, you think that you're right or something along those lines. I said, oh, Scott ate with that. He ate with that. Because it's not the loudest person. It's not the loudest person in the room means that they're right, you know. And Belle thinks because she shouts that makes no. You actually look dumb. You look dumb. Now it's questioners from the islands. It's from the islands. Questioners from the islanders to each other. Zach and Millie. This is to Scott and Leanne. Is Scott coming off as a game player? 47% said yes. 53% said no. Whitney confirmed, again, her being Scott's friend, saying that Scott definitely likes Leanne as she knows how he treats women he doesn't like. So for everybody that's saying that, oh, Whitney wasn't a girl's girl, she's this, and saying all this negative stuff about Whitney, what do you lot have to say for yourselves? She literally just backed Leanne and Scott's thing by saying, yes, he actually genuinely does like her. What do you lot have to say? Any question that Scott had asked Whitney, she was being 100% honest. But I'm guessing you lot are gonna have nothing to say now because you lot are hearing what you want to hear. I have to clock you lot's tea. Harrison and Belle, this was a Sean, you know. This was a question for Scott. Is Scott here for genuine reasons? Yes, 59%, no, 49%. Lucinda said it's not the best gap, so it's not enough to be clapping. Lucinda makes me laugh because it's only 10% apart. It's only 10% apart. It's not really much. She isn't lying. It's not really much of a... Quite a few people think that Scott is here playing a game. So, you know, that's probably a conversation that they need to have. We then get to Sean and Lucinda. Is it? Yeah, SNL. Yeah. Yeah, Sean and Lucinda, because SNO and SNO is... Okay, cool. Do you think Jessy is playing it safe to make it to the final? 83 of y'all said yes. 17 said no. Yikes. Again, this is Jessy's doing. It's got nothing to do with Tommy. It's got nothing to do with Tommy. I promise you. It's got nothing to do with you. It's to do with how Jessy came in and handled this whole Lucinda situation. I promise. If she had minded the business I didn't pay her, y'all wouldn't be getting... These votes wouldn't be like that. But unfortunately, it's a reflection of her, not you. Whitney and Yemen for Scott and Leanne, but this is more for Scott's feeling. No, not Scott's feelings, Leanne's feelings. Do you think Scott made the right decision picking Leanne over Belle? 76 said yes. 24 said no. We then get to... I'm not even going to go over that because I know that was the right decision for the both of them. And I know you lot know this too. So we don't even need to debunk that or go over that. Scott and Leanne. Was it too quick for Sean and Lucinda to close it off quickly? 55 said yes. 45 said no. Again, not much of a difference. But Sean and Lucinda don't care what the public have to say, which is good. It's a good attitude to have. It's a good attitude to have. At the end of the day, it's not the public you're dating. So, yeah. Sammy and Kieran. Was Lucinda pieing Sammy uncalled for? 63 said yes. No was 27%. And then they kind of like... Lucinda was like, I'm not doing this again. Lucinda, you kind of have to... It came up... I understand like Sammy asking a question. It can be annoying, but it's there. Just deal with it while it's there. I would have just probably sat there and not even said anything. Quite frankly. I would have sat there and not uttered a word. I would have just sat there and be like... I would have just not given her the time of day because that's what she wants. At the end of the day, this pie thing happened 2 weeks ago. Why is this still a conversation today? I'm telling you, that slap in the face must be really replaying in Sammy's head because for her to bring that up, it must be replaying in her head. That's the only reason. I mean, if someone slapped me in the face that hard with a pie, I probably wouldn't be over it yet still. So I can understand it. But I just want to say, I knew the nice girl act wasn't going to last long. From either Sammy or Belle, I just knew it. It wasn't going to last long. It was only a moment. It was only for a moment. But Lucinda she doesn't care. she still doesn't care. She's still laughing in your face. She's still saying, oh, you didn't care about my face. Sammy, you need to understand, Lucinda doesn't care about you. And the quicker you understand that, the better it is for you. People like Lucinda, you just got to leave her. You got to leave her. At the end of the day, you tried to have a serious conversation with her, she laughed. From the first time she laughed, you should have left it there because that's disrespectful. Okay, all jokes aside, you know, okay, people are rooting for Lucinda now, this, that, and the third, you know, she's changed the public's opinion and all that type of stuff. Cool. But all jokes aside, from the time you're laughing in someone's face, I will not speak to you again. You clearly don't respect me. So I'm not going to have nothing more. I have nothing more to say to you. JNT. Jessy and Tommy. Is Scott holding back from making Leanne his girlfriend because he doesn't want to? 43 said yes. 57 said no. And Scott must have made a comment saying, obviously he doesn't know about the variables from the outside, which he's very inclined to say. He's like, he doesn't know how she answers the phone. And I understood what Scott meant. I got it. Is Leanne someone that picks up the phone? It's basic things. And then Belle obviously had to chime in and make a comment. And what did Scott say? Scott said, listen, literally nothing from you because, be quiet. Be quiet. I know you're still butthurt about the question that Scott said about the DM thing. I know you're butthurt about that, but it's enough. Like, you actually always have something to say. And then that Belle and Scott was like going back and forth. Like, it was literally going back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like to myself, oh my gosh, like I can't, this show's, it's almost done. What's today, Wednesday? Guys, we have a few more days. It's almost done. It's almost done. Maya then enters the villa and Maya asks Tommy if he agrees with what the public had said. Jessy begins to cry. Am I heartless to say I don't care for her tears? I don't. Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't care. Sorry. Jessy said she thought Tommy wouldn't believe what Helena and the public said. I mean, he didn't believe it, but obviously he's going to feel a type of way. Those were big percentages, Jessy. Come on now, be for real. Wake up. You live in the real world, love. Those are some big-ass percentages. It's not like to say it was 50-50 or, 40-20 or like percentages where you can kind of be like, oh, okay. But it's like, that's a massive gap. So, of course, he's going to feel a type of way. But you cry away. Now, Maya said how the public have been answering. I completely forgot about this part. I completely forgot about it. The public have been asking some questions. You lot done well. I didn't bother, I'll be real, because I didn't think they would put these questions in there. I really didn't think. But am I surprised? Y'all done well. Whoever was asking these questions, this question must have came up a lot. For them to put that in, it must have came up a lot. So shout out to everybody that asked this question. Sammy and Kieran, let's get into it. Will Sammy tell Belle the truth about what Sophie said on video call? Yay! And of course, they wanted to give us a taste of what's to come tomorrow. And you could just see Belle looking at Sammy like, that's your friend. And your friend weren't honest with you? That's meant to be your friend. That's meant to be your sister. Your ride or die. That's meant to be your killy. And she ain't tell you the truth about what her friend said. Why not? I wonder why. We're going to find out tomorrow, though. And then Sammy was just like, girl. But anyway, guys, that is it for today's review. If you guys have enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as you guys already know, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.